The weeks after that first kiss passed in a kind of golden haze. Jace and Riley fell into a new rhythm, one that included stolen moments throughout the day, a kiss in the stable, hands held while walking the property line. Riley curled against Jace's side on the couch each evening. But they took things slow, just as Jace had promised. No rushing toward intimacy, no pressure to define what they were beyond, to people exploring something precious and new. They learned each other in layers. Riley's habit of humming while he worked, Jace's tendency to overthink everything. The way they both found peace in the quiet of the Wyoming wilderness. December deepened into true winter. The ranch was beautiful under snow, the mountains stark and white against crystalline blue skies. Jace taught Riley to ride, laughing as Riley bounced awkwardly in the saddle at first, then watching with quiet pride as he found his balance and confidence. They rode together across the frozen landscape, Riley's face alight with joy. And Jace thought he'd never seen anything more beautiful. But beneath the happiness, Jace sometimes caught Riley staring into space with a distant, sad expression. On those days, Riley would be quieter, more withdrawn, and Jace learned to give him space while making sure he knew he wasn't alone. It came to a head 2 days before Christmas. Jace woke to find Riley's side of the bed empty. They'd been sharing a bed for the past week, just sleeping, wrapped in each other's warmth. And Jace had gotten used to waking up with Riley's curly head on his shoulder. The absence felt wrong. He found Riley in the kitchen, sitting at the table with a cup of coffee. Staring at his phone with tears streaming down his face, Jace said softly, coming to kneel beside Riley's chair. "What's wrong?" Riley showed him the phone screen. It was a Facebook post from Riley's mother, a family Christmas photo. Parents, younger siblings, everyone smiling in matching sweaters. The caption read, "Blessed to celebrate Christmas with our complete family. Hashtag family first, hashtag Christmas blessings. Complete family," Riley said, his voice hollow. "Like I never existed. Like I was never part of it at all." Jace felt anger surge through him, hot and protective. He took the phone gently from Riley's hands and set it aside, then pulled Riley into his arms. "Their loss," he said firmly. "Their loss, Riley. You are incredible and brave and kind. And if they can't see that, they don't deserve you in their lives." "It still hurts," Riley whispered. "I thought maybe, I don't know, that they'd reach out, that they'd miss me. But they haven't called once. Not once in 4 months. It's like I died." "You didn't die. You survived. You're here, and you're building a life, and you're loved." Jace pulled back to look Riley in the eyes. "You're loved, Riley, by me. I love you." The words hung in the air between them. Jace hadn't planned to say them not like this. Not yet, but they were true. Somewhere between that first night and now, between shared meals and quiet mornings and stolen kisses, he'd fallen completely and irrevocably in love with this beautiful, resilient person. Riley stared at him, eyes wide and wet with tears. You love me?" "I love you," Jace repeated, meaning it with every fiber of his being. "I love your strength and your courage. I love the way you sing to the horses when you think I'm not listening. I love your laugh and your kindness, and the way you've brought light back into my life. I love you, Riley Chen, all of you." Riley made a choked sound and threw his arms around Jace's neck, holding on tight. "I love you too," he said, muffled against Jace's shoulder. "I love you so much. I was so afraid to say it. Afraid it was too soon, or that you'd think I was just confused. But Jace, I love you." They held each other in the morning light, and Jace felt something settle in his chest, a rightness, a certainty. This was real. This was forever. Whatever challenges came, they'd face them together. "Listen," Jace said, pulling back and wiping the tears from Riley's cheeks with his thumbs. "I know this is hard. I know the holidays are going to bring up a lot of feelings. But you're not alone anymore, okay? You have me. You have this home. And we're going to make our own family, our own traditions. Starting right now." Riley managed a watery smile. "Yeah, what did you have in mind?" "Well, for starters, we're getting a Christmas tree. A real one. Then we're going to decorate this house until it looks like Christmas threw up in here. We're going to bake cookies and watch cheesy Christmas movies and do all the things that make the holidays special. And on Christmas Day, we're going to wake up together, drink too much coffee, and celebrate the fact that we found each other. Sound good? The next 2 days were a whirlwind of activity. They drove into Jackson Hole and picked out the biggest, most ridiculous Christmas tree they could fit in Jace's truck. They bought lights and ornaments and garland, and Riley discovered a love for holiday decorating that bordered on obsessive. "Is there such a thing as too many lights?" Riley asked, stringing yet another strand around the porch railing. "I'm beginning to think yes," Jace said, but he was smiling. The ranch house looked like something out of a Hallmark movie. Seeing Riley's joy made every bit of overlit-up decoration worth it. They baked cookies. Following Jace's mother's recipes, Riley got flour in his hair and frosting on his nose, and when Jace leaned in to kiss it off, Riley had pulled him close and kissed him properly, sweet and slow, and tasting of sugar. Those kisses were growing deeper, more heated, and Jace could feel the shift between them, the growing want, the readiness for more. But he let Riley set the pace. Following his lead, on Christmas Eve, they sat by the fire, the tree lights twinkling in the corner. Riley was curled against Jace's side, peaceful and content. "Thank you," Riley said softly. "For what?" "For this? For showing me that family isn't just about blood. It's about who shows up for you, who sees you and loves you anyway." He tilted his head to look up at Jace. "You showed up for me, Jace. When I had nothing and nowhere to go, you showed up. You didn't just give me shelter, you gave me a home. You gave me love. You gave me a reason to believe in myself again." Jace's throat tightened with emotion. "You did the same for me, you know? I didn't realize how lonely I was until you arrived. This house, this ranchette, was just a place I existed. You made it a home." Riley sat up, facing Jace fully. His eyes were dark and serious. "I want to give you something, Riley. You don't have to. I want to." Riley took Jace's hands in his. "I don't have money or fancy gifts, but I can give you this. My trust, completely. My heart, completely. My body, completely. I want to be with you, Jace. Really be with you. If you want that too..." Jace's pulse quickened. "Are you sure? We don't have to rush, I'm sure." Riley's voice was steady, certain. "I've never been more sure of anything. I love you, and I want to show you how much. Please." Jace searched Riley's face and found nothing but love and desire and certainty. He stood, holding out his hand. "Come with me." They walked together down the hallway to Jace's bedroom. The room was bathed in soft moonlight from the window, the snow outside making everything seem to glow. Jace turned to face Riley, cupping his face gently. "And we go slow," Jace said. "We stop whenever you want to stop. This is about us, about showing each other how we feel. There's no rush, no pressure. Okay?" "Okay," Riley breathed. What followed was tender and intimate, a slow exploration of skin and breath and sensation. Jace mapped Riley's body with his hands and mouth, learning what made him gasp, what made him sigh, what made him arch into the touch. Riley was equally curious, equally reverent, touching Jace like he was something precious and miraculous. They took their time, building heat slowly, communicating with touches and whispers, and the language of bodies learning to move together. When they finally came together completely, Riley's eyes filled with tears, but these were tears of joy, of feeling connected and loved and whole. "I love you," Riley gasped, holding tight to Jace. "I love you," Jace answered, and in that moment, they were everything to each other, past and present and future. Wound together so tightly that Jace couldn't tell where he ended and Riley began. Afterward, they lay tangled together, Riley's head on Jace's chest, their breathing slowly returning to normal. The moonlight painted silver patterns on the walls and outside. The world was silent and white and perfect. "Merry Christmas," Riley murmured. Pressing a kiss to Jace's chest, Jace smiled. Running his fingers through Riley's curls, "Merry Christmas, love." Christmas morning dawned bright and cold. They woke slowly, wrapped in each other, and for a long time, just held each other in the quiet. Eventually, they made their way to the kitchen. Jace started coffee while Riley examined the small pile of gifts under the tree with childlike excitement. "You got me presents?" Riley asked, turning to Jace with wide eyes. "Of course I did. Did you think I wouldn't?" Jace brought over 2 mugs of coffee and they settled on the floor in front of the tree. Sitting cross-legged, like kids, Jace had gotten Riley practical things: warm clothes, sturdy boots, a good winter coat butt, also a leather-bound journal, and a nice pen. "For your thoughts," Jace explained as Riley opened it. "I notice you like to write sometimes. I thought you might like a proper place for it." Riley's eyes filled with tears again. "Jace, this is... Thank you. I love it." He reached under the tree and pulled out a small, wrapped package. "I made you something. It's not much, but..." Jace unwrapped it carefully. Inside was a hand-carved wooden horse, small enough to fit in his palm, detailed and beautiful. He looked up at Riley in amazement. "You made this?" Riley nodded, looking shy. "I've been working on it in the barn when you were doing paperwork in the evenings. I used to carve when I was younger before ... everything. I thought maybe I could start again. And I wanted you to have something from me. Something that showed, I don't know, that I was thinking of you." Jace turned the little horse over in his hands, marveling at the detail, the flowing mane, the powerful legs, even tiny carved hooves. It was a work of art, made with patience and skill and love. "Riley, this is incredible," Jace said, his voice thick with emotion. "This is the best gift I've ever received." They spent the rest of Christmas Day together, cooking a big meal, watching movies, and making love again in the afternoons, lower this time, even more tender, both of them savoring every moment as the sun set on Christmas. Painting the snow in shades of pink and gold, they stood on the porch together, Jace's arms around Riley from behind. "I have something to tell you," Jace said. Riley turned his head. "Oh, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I want to make it official. I want you to stay here permanently. Not as my employee, but as my partner." Riley turned in Jace's arms, his eyes shining. "You mean it? You want me to stay? Forever?" "Forever," Jace confirmed. "I want to build a life with you, Riley. I want to wake up next to you every morning and fall asleep with you every night. I want to teach you everything about ranching and learn everything about you. I want holidays and birthdays and ordinary Tuesdays. I want all of it with you." Riley kissed him, deep and sweet and full of promise. When they pulled apart, he was smiling through tears. Yes, yes, to all of it, forever. 6 months later, the Wyoming summer was in full bloom, the grasslands green and wild with flowers. Riley sat on the porch, his journal open on his lap, watching Jace work with a new colt in the training ring. In the 6 months since Christmas, their life together had taken shape in beautiful ways. Riley had thrown himself into learning ranching, discovering a natural gift for training horses. He'd even started a small side business, selling his wood carvings at the market in Jackson Hole. The money went into a joint account they'd opened equal partners, just as Jace had promised. But more than the practical success, they'd built something deeper, a real home, filled with love and laughter and the comfortable intimacy of 2 people who knew each other completely. They'd had their fights and their challenges, learning to navigate their different backgrounds and communication styles. But they'd worked through everything together, growing stronger with each obstacle overcome. Riley had even reconciled, in a way, with his past. His parents hadn't reached out, probably never would. But he'd connected with his younger sister through social media, started building a tentative relationship there. And he'd found a found family in the local LGBTQ community, attending events in town, making friends who understood his journey. Most importantly, he'd found peace within himself. He was no longer the terrified, desperate kid who'd asked to sleep in a barn. He was Riley Chen, rancher, artist, partner, survivor. He was loved, and he was home.
"Hey, Space Cadet."
Jace called from the ring, grinning. "You going to sit there daydreaming all day, or are you going to come help me with this guy?" Riley laughed, setting aside his journal and jogging over to the ring. Jace met him at the fence, leaning over to steal a quick kiss. "What were you writing?" Jace asked. our story," Riley said. "I'm writing down how we met, everything that's happened. I want to remember it all." "Yeah. How does the story end?" Riley smiled, looking around at the ranch, the mountains, the big sky overhead. Then he looked back at Jace, at this man who'd seen him at his lowest and offered not pity, but partnership. Not charity, but love. "It doesn't end," Riley said. "It just keeps getting better." Jace pulled him close, kissing him properly this time, deep and sweet and full of all the love they'd built together. When they pulled apart, both of them were smiling. "Come on," Jace said, taking Riley's hand. "Let's go home." And they did, walking together toward the house they'd made into a home. Behind them, the sun set over the Wyoming plains, painting the world in gold. Ahead of them stretched all the ordinary, extraordinary days of a life built on love, respect, and the courage to say yes to the unexpected. Riley had asked to sleep in a barn. Jace had said, "No, you belong inside." Neither of them had known that inside would come to mean so much more than just four walls and a roof. It meant safety. It meant love. It meant family. It meant home.